Hey, how you doing? How are you? Hello, Joe Gold. I like your post, but can't. Can you make larger the prices, please? I am having difficulty read. Yeah, yeah, I know that we need to find out uh, a fix for that. So something that I know it's working, and because I do it. I mean that's the way I've been testing it. It's if you open the post on your phone, it's different because you can actually see the whole picture, not just the preview. So if you can start doing that, that would be great. While I find a fix, I promise, guys. I promise I'm gonna find a fix. Just give me some time. All right. Hello, Diane. How you doing? Hey, Bets Boy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Um, hey, Tokayo. Thank you for your email. You know what? Just when I hit reply, I realized that was not the same thing. Actually, yeah, you will see. You will see. It was not the same thing, but it was similar. So, anyways, thank you for your email. Uh, who else is here? Hey, Kevin. How are you, Kevin? Hello, Salman. Hello, Sai Kense. This is your first time here. Welcome to this community. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for joining. Hello, John, Chandru, Thomas, Sven. How you doing, Sven? You have been a bit lost. I hope you're doing great. Hello, Richard, Rafa. Hey, Rafa, I saw that you just joined Traders Lab. Great decision. Great decision. Welcome to the family. Hey, Wilson. Princess Daisy. Yeah, no. I lost on Friday. I had a loss on Friday. Yeah, Daisy. I know. That was my ticket to Chicago, but now I can't go over there. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. Nah, but yeah, I actually I took a loss on Friday. Yeah, if you watched last Friday's video, you will see I took a loss. Hello, Aniket. Forever United. On Zoom, there's no problem. Um, what on Zoom? Like sharing the screen, the charts on Zoom. Yeah, probably. Hello, Basil. Doing great, thank you. I'm gonna take a look to your trade. Justin, Eileen, Ready Relief Productions. All right, Rafa, Sven, still learning. Eileen, we were just talking about your session last week. Good. Eileen, did you remember about the trader identity statement? It's gonna be useful today. All right. Say yes. I'm from Discord. Traders Edge. All right. Good. Thank you. Welcome. Say welcome. Hey Tony, how you doing? My friend Tony. Hello, Randall, Vanessa. All right, guys. So let's get started. So what we had this morning. So first, I want to ask to all of you. How you have been doing with the charts I'm sharing. Have been accurate? Have they been useful? What do you think about the charts? I mean, I we have been talking about they are. I mean, the charts are drawn to my style, right? To my style. So that's why sometimes you see my levels uh, on the top of consolidation area instead of on the bottom, because I like, like I like to be ready for the bounces and not for the breaks, right? So yeah, so sometimes even when you see my charts, you can see that they are a bit different to Jack's, a bit different to Tony's, a bit different from Mr. Banks and Norris No Premium. So depending on what community you are, you will see that everyone has their charts according to their style, right? And that's exactly what happens with mine. That's exactly what happens with mine. So just make sure that, I mean, you just don't copy the levels. You understand where this level is coming from. So that takes me to someone of you guys, and first I'm super grateful about all of your comments on the YouTube channel, all of your emails. Thank you very much for being this active on the community. And I received some feedback and a request like, okay, well, Neto, instead of sharing the whole chart, just like a like a screenshot of half of your chart with the prices on it. I At first I was like, well, I mean, if you just want to see my levels, that will be fine. But that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want actually you to learn where these levels are coming from. So that's why sometimes I share my 15-minute chart. Sometimes I share my 1-hour chart, because I want you to understand where all these levels are coming from and why they are important. Not just not just the line, but identify why that line is important, or what that line is relevant, or if that line should be a box or an area, right? So that's why I don't like, I wouldn't like just to share like a half screen screenshot with the prices. I want to, like, to do the whole thing. These are actually my charts. These are actually my charts. As you can see right now, well, right now it's on the 15-minute chart. But I want you to understand this. Why this area here it's important? Well, because this is a demand zone. All right. So this is the demand zone. Where is this level? Where? Okay. Well, this is the supply. Well, it's right here. Okay. So I don't need to draw this key level from here. But if you don't have the whole chart, you will see here and you will say like, hey, Neto, you said that you like to draw your key levels on the supply zones, and this is demand. Well, yes, it is demand here, but there was supply here, right? So that's why I want you to see the whole chart and not just a part of it. So please keep sending me your messages. Please keep sending me your feedback about the charts. I hope we will find out a way to be very useful for everyone. All right. Hello, Vanessa, Declan, Eileen, Chandru, very useful. Thank you. Vanessa, they look good. Very helpful. Thank you. Jack and Tony's are sometimes different from each other anyway, with Jackson's and Tony. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, we all have different styles, right? So, for example, Tony draws the previous day high and low, or like previous highs and lows on the daily chart, and just 1 or 2 key levels on the 1-hour chart, and it's just a level. It's not a zone. It's not a box. It's not a trend line. It's usually just a line. But Jack, he likes these boxes, right? He likes to see at areas of support or resistance. Mr. Banks, he likes the daily chart. Yeah, he likes the daily chart, but he charts different. For me, I start charting my previous highs, but every high, right? If 2 days ago the high is inside of the range of yesterday, I don't draw it. So I keep drawing the higher highs and the lower lows. So I keep like out of the shade of the previous candles. So it's different. No risk, no premium. Chris, he likes levels on the 1-hour and the 4-hour chart. Again, everyone has a different style, so just make sure that you understand everyone's style, and you take your ideas from the style that fits better to your to what you do. All right. Uh, Declan, do you use the 1 hour to chart, or do you just share the 1 hour? Yes, I do my levels on the 15-minute chart, but sometimes I share my 1 hour chart just to to zoom out a little bit, and you can see where all these levels are coming from. Ricardo Spy puts, all right. CL Neto, what do you think? Okay, okay. Hey, Francine. Hello, Francine. Where have you been? Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Okay, guys. Let's take a look to charts here. Okay. First play. All right. So first play, we open the market. We had this rip to the upside. We had this nice break and retest of previous day close. So guys, if you are new in this community, just for you to understand a little bit how the key levels work here. So we have tags for the 5 minute and the 1 minute opening range. We have tags for the pre-market levels. We have tags for the previous day levels, previous day high and previous day low, pre-market high, pre-market low. And this box here with this dash line, it's the daily gap. It's the difference between previous day close and today's open, right? And today's open. So today we had this nice break and retest of previous day close, and also this was the very first pullback, and it was bought up, right? It was bought up. I really like this opportunity here. I think Luke took this one. I think Luke took this one. Um, oh, sorry, just to read that, Francine. I hope she's better. So I, I was looking at this. I really like this reaction here. How buyers step in right here on previous day close. And if you were taking this opportunity here, I will be waiting for the break of this 672.24. That's a key level on the 15-minute chart, and I will be waiting for the next 15-minute chart key level, or maybe the daily. But I mean, we never hit the daily. This 673.95. Anyways, I mean, we hit, or we tagged this 673.63. That's a key level on the 15-minute chart. And this was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. So that was like really nice, really, really nice. And then, well, guys, I'm always looking for the fail to create new highs, and then a break and retest of support turn into resistance area. So that's exactly what we had here. But also I want you to take a look to this. This area here was from the pre-market area. From the pre-market area, we had a few nice rejections here. Also, as you can see, actually, this is a really nice key level. It's just like in the 1 minute, it looks like very easy to spot. But maybe in the 15-minute, it was not that clear. But anyways, I mean, this area was really good here. So I was waiting for this break, this placement, retest of this pivot or swing low, and then the drop. So as you can see, I was waiting for not only for the retest, but for some sort of rejection. I know this is kind of very close to be a breakout trade, but it was not. And also, I mean, we have a lot of room to the downside. Just as you can see here, I actually took my trade right here. This is the 1002. Yeah, 1002 candle. This is the 1002 candle. And I took my contracts all the way to here. I never tagged the 100%. I think that the most was like 94 or 95. It was a really nice trade. It was a really, really nice trade. So I took here, I hold some of my runners to this pullback. I closed all of my trade this 1028. This 1028. I was like, okay, well, I already have like a really nice trade, and I don't want to spend time here. It was 10:30, so I was like, okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. And also, like I was looking some sort of change of character, higher low here, higher high. So I said just okay, well, that's fine. I don't want to hold any runners here because I was watching these candles here. They were aggressive, right? They were aggressive. And why they were aggressive? Because we had this area here. Because we had this area here, this demand on the pre-market. Again, it was taking us to this area here, or the 50-minute chart key level. But anyways, I just didn't want to spend the whole morning here. So I actually had like a really nice trade. It was like 65% the overall. So really nice trade for 10:02 to 10:20, 25-minute. Yeah, 25-minute trade, 65% the overall, 92% my last contracts, or my best contracts. That was really nice. That was really nice. And then this is the other opportunity that you were all watching and waiting, right, guys? So I see that many of you were taking this trade here. 10:07. This is 10:07. Yes, sir. 10:07. If you went all the way to here, maybe 670.50, it was a really nice trade. Actually, this trade, I mean, if you were like really patient here, you maybe got all your contracts all the way to here. If you were playing zeros like I do, maybe not, right? Because these candles here, probably you were like 20% negative. So yeah, so maybe you didn't take these ones here, but this was also a really nice trade. A really nice trade. This 10:07, as I can read here, many of you took that one. And also I received a few emails saying like, hey Neto, this was a good play. Yes, it was. Like, I mean, you made a lot of money in 3 minutes, right? Or a good return. Maybe not a lot of money, but a good return. All right. So let me see here. Richard, how do you know how long to keep your runners? Well, I just play the market structure. If there's a shift on market structure, I just cut my trade. Or if and this is a personal rule, Richard. This is not even a suggestion for anyone. I'm just sharing one of my personal rules for my style, for my playbook. Once my contracts hit 25%, I move my stop loss to break even. All right. Sarvesh, quick question, Neto. The 92.37 on your screenshot? No, it's not. This is just my best contracts. This is just my best contract, and this is the screenshot after taking partials on my best contracts, because just as I said, for example, this one here, I think the most was like 94%, but I sold some of my contracts and then I take the screenshot, always in that order. I never take the screenshot and then sell my contracts. That's not a good practice, guys. Don't do that, right? So first, secure your contracts or secure your order, and then take the screenshot if you are doing something like I do, right? So yeah, no, these were just actually this was like half my position, like 90 yeah. So my first trim was the break of this pivot, no, these candles here, on this, yes, on this candle here. When this broke this low here, I sold 1/4 of my position, and it was like 40%, like 40% on contracts. And then it was breaking with a lot of momentum, so I sold like half my position around here, between 90, 92 and 94%. And then I took like 10% my position on this candle here, and I closed my position on this candle on this candle here, or this one. No, this one, on this one here. I don't remember how it was, but I mean, actually no. My last contracts, they were like 40% again. So the net ROI for my trade was 60 something percent. Um, Neto, you should do a lesson on your levels at some point if you decide to retire soon. No, brother, I'm not retiring anytime soon. But yes, I think I'm due with a video on key levels. Hello, Moni. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad she's doing better, Francine. Hey, Kumar. The Olus, can you do a video of you drawing your key levels? I can. I'll just give me a few days or weeks. Declan, I was looking at that trade but didn't take it because I didn't see a lower high fail high. Well, it was actually, it was right here. Barbara, hi Neto, sorry, but what is the white line on the first setup? What is the white line? This is a key level on the 15-minute chart. 672.24. 672.24. That comes from Friday. Yeah, this comes from Friday. Yeah, this pivot lows here, pre-market. That's a key level on the 15-minute chart. Kumar, I took the first and the second trade. Good. You haven't your shot. But later I got distracted and took a third trade and lost a. Come on, brother. How can you lose 2 wins in just one loss? We are doing something wrong. All right, we need to fix that. DC, I entered 1024 here, 1024 here. Well, there's something. Look at this DC. We have right here. This is the low. This is actually a higher low. All right, this is a higher low, and yeah, I mean this was just a range. I don't know what to say, but I mean this failed to create a lower low, so that's why I wouldn't, like I wouldn't take my position right here. But yeah, I mean I understand what you tried here. This was like the retest of this previous low here. It just didn't work. But as you can see later in the day, this was the right area. This was the right area. Like it just didn't work right there, right? But that was a good key level to consider. Declan, I was also wondering how you create your thesis for the break retest boom. I was waiting for it to get on the. Well, guys, I don't have a thesis. I mean, when it's trending, I just wait for a strong fail. When it's trending to the downside, I just wait for the market structure. When it's trending to the upside, I just wait for a strong fail on the market structure. So yeah, I mean that's one of the great things about my strategy or my playbook, that I don't have a bias in the morning. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's like, okay, well, I mean, sometimes it's helpful to have a bias, because if you see it, I mean, if you see market is struggling in your key levels and you see that it's like wanting to go, like lower, uh that helps you to identify your key levels, and like to have some sort of more confidence on your setups. uh, but even if I don't have a bias, I mean, I'm, as you can see, I'm just looking for the fails. I'm looking for the failures to create new highs, and then like the pullbacks. Someone was asking on one of the discords this morning, like, oh, Neto, so Neto is always shorting the market, so he's super bear. And I was like, no, I mean, I'm not even bearish on the market. I think it's going higher. I think it's going higher. The only thing is that my edge comes from taking advantage of these pullbacks, right? It's not like I'm bearish. It's just like I found a way to make money on this kind of market structure, because this is actually market structure on a higher time frame, right? So it's just it's just different concept. I'm not bearish on the market. My edge, it's on taking advantage of uh, pullbacks on the 1 minute time frame. Do you see, guys, the difference, or I'm just trying to make it up? I just think it's different. I just think it's different. It's not the same thing. Um, all right. Tony, when you consider your key levels, do you what no? When you consider your key levels, do you pay more attention to times where there is more volume? I don't see volume at all. I don't see volume in my charts. Meaning, are key levels more significant during the morning times as opposed to pre-market or end of day? I like, and this is a personal preference, I like to follow my key levels on the 15-minute chart. I think my key levels on the 15-minute chart are most of the times even more relevant than the previous day high and low, or the pre-market high and low, or the 5-minute opening range high and low. I think my key levels on the 15-minute chart are more relevant. That's why I strongly suggest you guys that find your way to chart, because that's how you manage your plays. Right? Yeah, DC. No. I get your play. I totally get your play, and that was actually a nice play. I mean, you had nice reaction right here. Second candle was confirming the move to the downside, but just something happened. Something happened, and what happened? Well, it happened that this demand zone was just too strong. Again, I'm not watching volume, but if you turn on volume, you might see that this bounce had some volume on the pre-market. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Um, Hello, Misan. Thank you, Dian. That was a really nice trade. Right? Hagi, when trading SPY, what do you look at for confluence? I don't look for anything but my technicals. I don't look for anything but my technicals. I'm just watching market structure and reaction on my 15-minute key levels. Yeah. So, guys, I'm look at this. I'm sharing a lot of stuff about my playbook. I don't have a bias in the morning. I don't have a preferred key level. I use my 15-minute chart key levels, and also I don't have any confluences. If I'm trading SPY, if I'm trading QQQ, I'm looking for how SPY is moving. But if I'm trading SPY, I'm not looking to anything. Sometimes, and I really mean it. Sometimes, because I have my SPY and QQQ charts back to back, I'm watching how far it's QQQ from relevant key levels. Because if we are about to hit, I don't know, like previous day low, I expect for some sort of reaction also in SPY. It's not like SPY is gonna follow QQQ, but they react similar. So if we are gonna have like a strong reaction on previous day low on QQQ and it's about to hit, I just, like I'm alert. I'm aware of my move on SPY, so I'm ready to react. But no, I don't have, I don't see or I don't look for any confluence. Barbara, thank you. I also took a trade at 11.11. I was shorting SPY. Where will you put a stop loss on this one? 11.11. 11.11. So you were trying something like this, right? This is 11.11. Yes, at the top of this candle. At the top of this candle, or at the, or right here at the today's opening. And what you were looking? 668. Look at this. 668 was a 1 to 2.7 risk reward ratio trade. That was a really nice one. That was a really nice one. Good job there. A little bit late for my for my taste, but yeah, I mean that was nice. That was nice. Declan, Neto, when you entered that first short, wasn't market structure still intact to the upside until it closed 948 order block? Again, when you entered on that first short, wasn't market structure still intact to the upside until it closed below the 948 order block? 948. Maybe yes. Maybe yes, but I was watching these rejections here. The rejection of this area here. The rejection of this area here failed to create a new high. This was kind of forming the head and shoulders here. So that was kind of the, like the breakout, but retesting these lows here. Yeah, I mean, if you are super technical, yeah, maybe I had to enter like on the next candle, maybe here on the break of this order block. Yeah, maybe you are right. I just watched these reactions here and I took it. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Rafa, how did you came up with the 672.24? A few touches here. Here, 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 here. I mean, it was on the 15-minute chart, as you can see here. But you see, this is the body of the 15-minute chart, the body of the 15-minute chart, key level, like support, 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 resistance, support, resistance. Yeah, 672.24. That was a strong key level on the 15-minute chart. Did you get where it came from, Rafa? Neto, what do you think about 1038 puts? 1038 puts. I don't like it too much. Who's asking? I don't like it too much, Tian, because you already have this area here. I mean, this is coming from the pre-market, but you have one bounce here, two bounces here, three bounces here. So I will need it to actually break this area here, to actually break it. Because why? Because you may have something like this just happen here, right? This was like a seller's trap, right? It broke this range, and then it came back. So that's why I will need a break of this range, and then a strong reaction like this trade here. All right, that's why this trade is here and not here or something like that, right? Because we needed to break this range. Now that you broke this range, you are looking for the rejections, and then you can take this drop. Is it clear, Dian? Aniket, SPY 1105. 1105. Is this one. And you exited 1117. Oh my, that was a super nice trade. Super nice trade. It was with zeros because that will be something like 100%. How much did you take on that drop, Aniket? Confluences were the breakup structure, retest of 670.40 level. Yes. 130. I knew it. Congratulations. I love it. All right. Joe Gold. Question to you. Looks to me you don't wait for that lower high to happen, then going in second lower high when there is more confirmation. My question to you, looks to me you don't wait for that lower high to in which one, Joe? The first one here, my trade here. Tony, thanks, Neto. Good to see you again. Looking forward to your key level video. Yeah. Hey, Tony, if you want to watch a nice video, watch the one from October 15. October 15. That's a really nice video. I mean, you don't need to spend like the hour and a half. That was like a 90 minutes video. But the first 40 minutes, I deep dive into the break retest boom like a lot. So you can take a look to that video. That's a good one. CL, I love short, move faster than long. Yes. Hello, Marta. What made you shift your trading strategy in the last few months? Was it an experiment or something you noticed in your journaling? It looks like you are setting me the ball to hit a home run. Okay. Yeah, don't make me start with this, guys. Don't make me start with this. But yeah, yes, Marta. I mean, you and I, we had a conversation, and I told you that one of the things that I do with, like more intentional, it's gathering data about how I execute my system. All right. So when I was doing my mid-year performance review, I was looking at all the different setups that I was doing on the year, and I was looking for my best performers and also my best winners. So I do this exercise of my best performers. I take a look to my winners and to my losers, and also my worst performers, my winners and my losers. And I try to avoid my losers and my worst performers, and I try to just do my winners on my best performers, right? So what I just figured out there, and actually the one person that helped me to actually realize that I had an edge on the break retest boom is Money. Thank you, Money, because you opened my eyes, and I was kind of like resisting about just taking puts on SPY and QQQ, right? Because I was really enjoying taking calls on Tesla, taking calls on AMD, taking puts on Nvidia. I mean, I was really enjoying trading on the tech names, different setups, but Money was the one who told me, like, Neto, what is your journal saying about this kind of plays? Because I mean, I'm not your journal, but I mean, we used to talk a lot during the trading hours, and she was like, Neto, I can see that this is your play. I can see this is your play. I mean, why you are not focusing on this play? So I took advantage of my mid-year performance review, and I deep dive in my journal. And guys, my journal was not telling me to change my strategy. My journal was screaming at me, yelling at me like, dude, why you are resisting to take only this trade? So I started a discipline challenge. And I said like, okay, well, I'm gonna see what happens if I take only this setup on 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 1 month. And I had like like high 70s win rate, and I had like 1 to 3 point something risk reward, and I was like, wow. I mean, this is huge. I mean, we are hitting all time highs. Yeah, money. Yeah, she gave me that name, the Neto the Bear. So we were hitting all time highs, and I was like, well, I mean, on if I can take advantage of these pullbacks, it's again, it's not like I'm bearish on the market. I'm actually super bullish on the market. But my edge was on identifying this kind of place, identifying this fail to create new highs, identifying this break and retest of support turning to resistance areas. And well, I'm not afraid of taking puts. I'm not afraid of red candles. I'm not afraid. I feel that I'm kind of skilled and fast to execute my orders. And well, that's when I said like, money, this is my play. And yeah, I mean, money. Yeah, I need to when I'm able to buy Lambos and Ferrari, I will need to send one Lambo to Money, because she was the one who figured out that this was my play. This was my play. So Money, you can start looking at, like the Lambo website, and let me know which one you want and what color. Right. Maybe in a few years. Maybe in a few years. Right. But yeah, I mean, my looking at my journal and journaling the good days and especially the bad days. I was looking at my journal entries, and I was journaling the right things. The right things. I was journaling how I was executing. If I enter on my trade on my trigger, or if I was chasing, or if I was taking early entries, how I was managing my trade. If I was able, like to sell on my target profits, or if I was just, like waiting too long or panic selling. And then I was journaling my emotions on the trade. If I was feeling anxious, if I was feeling fearful, if I was feeling overconfident. So I started journaling with a lot of intention, and that's when my journal became a data analysis machine, because I was not just like dear diary, right? Today I had a wonderful day. No. I was journaling the right things, the right data. And actually we need to have like a workshop for journaling, performance-based journaling. That's one of the lessons that I like the most on my coaching and mentoring programs. But I think we can do something, like for I mean, for people that it's just starting to journal with intention. Let me do something. I hope for before the end of the year, we can do the drawing levels video, and also a workshop on how to journal with intention, performance based, right? Because there's a lot of people, they have Tradezella, they have other apps, or they journal on Notion, or they journal on Excel, and they are not journaling the right things. They are not journaling the right information. And the, Your job, guys, your job as a trader is to execute your system. It's not about winning or losing every day. It's about executing your system consistently with the same rules. So, yeah, well, I'm sorry. That was the performance coach kicking in. But yes, the short answer for your for your answer for your question, Marta, is yes. My journal told me which was my best winner and performance setup, and I just listened to my journal. Um, okay, Diane, you journal your trade exactly as you explained. Great. Tony, yeah, October 15, it's a good one. Diane, I'm realizing that the order blocks from pre-market are valid also. If you don't have the zone that you marked, look at the order blocks from the pre-market candle. Yes. Kumar, after 1 hour or so into trading, I lose my focus, but I need to stay in for 2 hours. Do you have any advice? I do have several advices for that, Kumar. But if I think the simplest one is if you are losing your focus after 1 hour. I mean, my first piece of advice will be stop, right? Stop, close your broker, and just go home. If you don't want to stop your trading day, you need to start using tools. Something that is really useful for me, it's once I am in a trade, I use this 5 minute timer. So it's like every time it sounds, it's every time it sounds, it's like okay, well, I need to refocus. I need to pay attention. Is this a good time to sell? Is this a good time to stay on the trade? So it keeps me intentionally focused, right? So that's something that you can do. Um, thank you, money. You're very welcome, Marta. You can always ask. Neto, what is the best time to trade in your opinion? I think the first 2 hours. For the strategy that we use, the break and retest with relative strength and relative weakness, I think the first 2 hours. Um, what's up, say? Do you still journal with the 4F? Of course I do. Of course I do. That's my template on TradeSella. I have a lot of categories and tags, and my 4F is my template in TradeSella. If you don't know what is the 4F framework, guys, Google it. Well, you know what? It's different. Probably that's something that we need to do on the journaling workshop. The 4F, uh, the F's stand for facts, feelings, findings, and fix. That's something that I will explain later. You will see. Always, yes, I can. Just give me some time, guys. This this part of the year is kind of busy for me because I am remember I'm a business owner, and I also am a performance coach on the communities here, and I also have my own performance coaching business, right? So this part of the year is kind of busy for me, but I promise I will have a lot of this content for you. All right, guys. So that was SPY. As you can see, it's all based on market structure, break and retest of relevant key areas. It doesn't need to be like higher time frame key areas. They need to be. They can be intraday key areas. So what happened? What happened? QQQ. Well, QQQ, as you know, most of the times it follows SPY. So just as in SPY, we had this break and retest of this 609.88. That was a key level on the 15-minute chart. We had this break displacement retest, and we actually had this tag to 612.50, and this was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. That was really nice. That was really nice. Then we had this fail to create a new high, break retest of this swing low order block here. Actually, I think here on QQQ it was a bit cleaner or clearer, this trade here, and it also took all the way to where? Pre-market areas. This order block on the 1 minute after market open, it was because this was a relevant area. Right? So we came all the way to here. This is the exact same trade that we had, that I had on SPY. And then, just as I told you guys, I will not like to have a trade on, oh, what happened? Sorry. I will not like to have a trade on this range. I would like the break of the range and then the retest, and that's exactly what we had here. We had the break of this range, displacement, retest, and then another drop. Where? Intraday key levels. Just as I told you, you don't need to wait for higher time frame key levels. I mean, that's the best case scenario, right? But I mean, many times you don't even need to wait for like a daily chart key levels or 4-hour chart key levels. You just need to be aware of these areas here. Hey Justin, all right. Break and retest of this 610 key level, 1014 here. Okay. Break and retest 609.88 or 610. All right. You missed that lower high, almost retested 610 again. I gave puts a shot and got mostly out 1019. Good. I mean that you took advantage of the whole range, right? Great. Was this still a valid trade? Yeah, it was a good trade. Just as you said, I mean, the reasoning behind your trade, it's super valid. I mean, it was the break and retest of this area here. That was super valid. That was super valid. All right, guys. So that was all for QQQ. Not sure if anyone took a trade on QQQ that you want to take a look. Yeah, no, good trade there, Justin. Good trade. Just give me 1 second here. Yes, Declan. Yes. I mean, at the end, you are breaking this. Look at this. You are breaking this order block. So you already broke, and you are like here trying to reclaim the order block and create a higher high, but you fail. You fail here. You fail on this one. You failed on this one. So after 3 fails, you fail to create a higher high, right? So after 3 fails on the 1 minute, you fail to create a higher high. So, and also you are rejecting this order block here, right? So you are rejecting this order block here, that if you drag this area here to the pre-market, you will see that it was support, turning to resistance, support again, turning to resistance. So this was a very crowded area on the pre-market. So that was the exact same thing than SPY, right? All right. So guys, let's go to AMD. AMD, nice strength at the open, and then you had this break and retest of this 1 candle rule or order block, or I don't know. I mean, how do you like to call this? I like the order block or 1 candle rule. So it's a down closing candle on an uptrend. That's the order block. So you had this break and retest. Look at this tag right here. So you had the second candle confirming the move to the upside, and on this candle closure, the next candle, I mean, you can open your position here, and you were aiming to 240, 248.50. That was the aiming. All right, 248.50. It was a 1 to 2. Ah, okay. Okay. If you wanted a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade, I mean, you actually got it. You actually got it. So yeah, Neto. But I mean, people in the community, they are always talking about the 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. Well, if you want to do 1 to 2, I like 1 to 2.5. I like 1 to 3. uh, so yeah, I mean, that's totally up to you, right? But anyways, if you wanted 1 to 2, look at this. 248.34 was your key level, and or I mean, or you can play with this, right? With your stop loss. But anyway, this was a really nice trade here, and then the drop, right? If you were looking, what happened with SPY and QQQ? What happened with SPY and QQQ? Okay, so right here, it was when SPY and QQQ were rejecting the previous day close, right? They were rejecting this 610 key level, right? So that was the drop on AMD. So, Neto, would you take this one here? No, I wouldn't. Look at this reaction here. Look at this reaction here. I will be afraid of taking something like that. However, look at this. You broke down again, and you came back for this pullback to the previous day close, 247 key level, and this is failing to create higher high. So this is actually market structure at its finest, right? So you have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So what are you expecting here? A lower low, right? So if you open your position right here with the rejection of the previous day close and the 247, and also this is a lower high, well, you will be aiming to maybe pre-market low. You will be aiming maybe to this 5 minute, 1 minute opening range. I think the pre-market low was a good key level to aim to. It took a while, right? It took a while to actually hit that key level, but after watching these rejections here, after watching all these look at these all these candles here on the 5 minute opening range. Look how many rejections of this. This was screaming, hey, let's go lower, let's go lower. So if you were reading this price action here, you should be waiting for this drop, right? So what happened if you close like something like here? Still, it was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. This 244, look at this. It was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. So even if you were kind of, like impatient, or you were like, oh well, this is not breaking down, I need to to get out of this because I'm losing my patience here. Well, just as these lows here, it was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. That was an amazing trade, right? And this second one, it's kind of the same thing. This area here, area here, area here. So it's rejection, support, turn into resistance, 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 drop. All right. Not too shorting again? No. I already took my trade from today. All right, guys. Any question about AMD? Let's go to Amazon. Amazon was super easy today. Break and retest. Previous day low, previous week low. Opening price. And it went all the way to 230. It was almost a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. I think that was the trade. That was the trade. Anyone took Amazon today? I was waiting for this gap to fill, and well, I mean, it's early in the day. Maybe we feel this gap, right? Maybe we feel this gap. I don't know. Let's see what happened. I was expecting the gap fill in the morning, but it had this recovery here. And this recovery was at the very same time that the recovery on the indices. I don't know if we had news or something. Can you see this recovery here? This recovery here? Same time that the recovery on Amazon. I don't know what happened. Do you know if we had news or something? No? Right. Let's go to Nvidia, guys. Nvidia was kind of the same thing, the break and retest, the 5-minute opening range. I really like this setup. I really like this setup because also it was aligned. The 5-minute opening range, it was aligned to this 15-minute chart key level 187.10. So you had this break, displacement, retest, and I will open my position here. I will be aiming to 189, and this was a 1-2 risk reward rated trade. Then you fail to create higher highs. You start creating your your head and shoulders. You had your area here, so you break, retest, and drop. Anyone took a trade on Nvidia today? No? Guys, I don't want you to be addict to SPY and QQQ. Take a look to the tech names once in a while. All right, let's go to Tesla, guys. If you are on the Scarface community and you were asking about what the heck happened with Tesla, well, this is exactly what happened. Let me tell you here. So you had this really nice break and retest of the 5-minute opening range high, this 405.99, 406. So you had break displacement, Neto, but that's just a small displacement. Well, that's $0.50 displacement. That's $0.50 displacement. And look at this nice reaction here. Also, look at this momentum here. Look at, I mean, we went from 399 to 407 in 5 minutes. So what were you expecting here? Well, you were expecting buyers to defend these key levels, right? Buyers to be serious about this move. So what we had here, again, the break and retest of the 5-minute opening range. I will be opening my position here. Well, I will not. Why? Because I don't like to buy calls this close to high of the day. However, look at the relative strength here. Look at the relative strength here. You want to compare this to the indices. Look at this. Look at this. Indices were pushing higher, but Tesla was pushing stronger, right? Even pushing stronger. So this is the relative strength that Jack and Tony talk a lot, right? So it was following the indices. It was bought up right at the 5-minute opening range. This was an easy trade. This was a really nice trade. I know a lot of you guys made good money here. In my opinion, this was the candle. I think this was the right candle to buy. 940. Barbara, you took 939. Great. Neto, when you talk about a trade having enough room, do you need to have a 1-2 risk reward from your entry? No, Declan. For me taking a trade, on calls, I like to have at least 1 to 1.5 to high of the day. At least to high of the day. And then, my next target to be with a better risk reward. Aniket, Nvidia earnings. That's true. Nvidia, it's earnings is Wednesday after close, right? Yeah, so bro, this is not a good week to play Nvidia. The IB, I'm guessing it's super elevated. So yeah. So that was the first trade on Tesla, and then I was watching the break and retest of the one play that I like the most when taking calls, the break and retest of previous day high. So what was happening what was happening here and why this was a good idea. Right here, the indices were retesting the 5-minute opening range, and even when the indices were creating this range here, indices were creating this range that we talk a lot. Tesla was grinding higher, 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 and it was respecting this 413.90. This a key level on the 15-minute chart. So this was a really nice trade. This was a really nice trade because this went all the way to 424. Yeah. So if you guys are on the Scarface community, you just watch Tony make like 50 grand here, right? He took this entry here. The 5-minute opening range, break and retest, and he was like, I think he cut his trade somewhere around here, 419, but he made like 50 grand today. It was crazy. It was crazy. And all right, guys. So that was all for me today. I just took one trade, one SPY trade. It didn't hit 100%, so it's not going to the Hall of Fame. uh, because yes, I have a Hall of Fame of all of the trades that I took that hit 100%. That's something that you should do. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining. A few relevant things from today. It's I will be trying to improve the charts for the mornings. I just noticed that less people today actually watch the charts. Let's see if it was just a 1 day thing, and the rest of the week we have more people watching them. Also, I will be preparing a video on how I draw my key levels, and I would like to have a workshop or something for journaling performance base. So that will be awesome. I'm not sure if my manager is gonna let me do this for free, but let's see what we can share on YouTube, so you don't need to spend a dime on it. All right, guys, thank you very much. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, go to my website tradingperformancecoach.com. Take a look. If you want to ask for something there, that will be awesome. And guys on Traders Lab, I'll see you today later, and the rest of the crew, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.